Hello everybody, welcome along to post-match reaction here on the Rangers Rabble.
What was that?
I am joined today by Alex, Connor and Kenny. Look, first half, piss poor, still created enough chances in that first half to score, should have scored, didn't score. Asgard, for me, and we'll get into it, was correctly sent off. And then for some unknown reason, Trusty, who decides just to kick a player in the head, isn't then sent off. Second half, Rangers much better. Was on top for most of that second half. Again, should have scored a few chances, but we didn't until we got a penalty, for which the Celtic player was then not given a second yellow card, even though he dived at the ball and hit it with his arm. A couple of defensive mistakes, and we are out of the cup.
Is it the usual eye?
Celtic's man of the match today, VAR. Congratulations to them for making sure their team got through to the final. I have been one on this show for nearly 5 years who has never, ever even looked at the possibility of dodgy decisions and this and that. And I'm struggling today. I'm really, really struggling. I don't see how you can't send off a player for kicking somebody in the head. Kenny, I heard for you pre-match. Alex, you were on the watch along. So, Connor, mate, I will start with yourself. Your reaction to yet another defeat at Hampden at the hands of Celtic.
Well, it's mixed. I'm bitterly disappointed, of course.
Oh, lovely.
How it unfolded. I think there's plenty to be discussed in the game. Can't give Callum McGregor acres of space in the edge of the box, because that's the only goal he scores when he scores. It's space at the edge of the box and he pings it. Nick Walsh is VAR's team, which, you know, we all, let's be honest about it, when we seen that VAR team named before this game, we all had concerns. Frank Connor is the man who got hooked at the end of last season, basically didn't officiate or was involved in officiating another game at the end of last season, because he's the guy who did not give us a stonewall penalty last season. But the decisions for the officials, I have no qualms with the Asgard red card. It's a red card. Not any problems with it. I will say, unlike Austin Trusty, Asgard is making a genuine attempt to get the ball.
Aye, mate, aye.
That's fine. We're honest in this show to say that. But how can you kick a goalkeeper in the head 2 seconds after he's got the ball in his hands? The ball's not even there to be won. It's a deliberate kick in the head.
No, it isn't.
VAR, I mean, they didn't. Maybe they checked it, but it was the quickest check you've ever seen in your life. Walsh should have been sent to the team. He should have been. Because the only way Nick Walsh gives that as a booking is if he deems it's not an intentional kick out and he's tried to play the ball. The VAR pictures would have told you he doesn't. So that's poor. Anthony Ralston makes the best save in the game, doesn't get a second booking. I mean, and by the way, how many fouls did Dyson Maida get away with before he got a booking eventually as well? Mm-hmm. You know, these, and I'm not, you know, and everybody knows who watches this podcast, Martin, we don't generally come on and blame referees for anything.
God's sake, you've been drinking.
But you need to call out what is right in front of your face. And for me, I am so disappointed. I think Nick Walsh and the VAR officials were the deciding factor in that game. I think the 11 men on the park, as much as in the first half we were poor, the performance we put in the second half, if we'd done that with 11 men, we can back win that game, in my opinion.
But absolutely, Kenny, there's no doubt about it. The second half performance tells you that. And I'm not buying into this, no, but Celtic just sat off because they were 1-up and they were down to 10 men. No, nonsense. We came out. But this is what this Rangers team does, Kenny. Once the chips are against you, then they kind of have a wee rally and they go for it and we look a lot better. And then, of course, we get, and I don't want to jump too far, we get the equaliser, and then I can understand that you're down to 10 men, you're knackered. Then we sit back and then we concede. But the decisions in this game, Kenny, absolutely had a bearing on the outcome of it.
The heart they showed when we went down to 10 men after the second half started was inspirational.
You're a fucking crackpot.
Do you know something? It's no sour grapes, because I did see a hell of a lot more heart than I've ever seen. But again, the decisions that you're alighting to there was, I actually still, even tomorrow when I watch the game back again, because I'm not watching it tonight, but how can you boot a goalkeeper in the head and not get anything done about it, even a booking or whatever?
He got a yellow card.
But even that, you know, if you're booting a goalkeeper when he's already got the ball in the hands, you've got to be dealt with, surely. I can't actually believe that Alson doesn't get sent off. It's a foul. He's dived onto the ball with his hands. He's stopped a goal scoring opportunity. It's a yellow. So, you know, we don't need to get a kid on here to say what 2 yellows make. I think one of the comments just come up there about saying consistency for me, and that's why I'm deflated.
Oh, lovely.
Have some consistency, and you're thinking, Jesus, man, what are you actually doing here? I'm a corner. I'm mixed. Pissed off, yes. Should be starting the game a lot quicker than that, going for the jugular a lot quicker. But the decisions have ruined us, Martin. They've ruined it. They've ruined the chance of a decent chance at getting something out of the game. I think that's the sentence. And it's no sour grapes because Celtic took their chances. I shouldn't be listening to Michael Stewart. He's an absolute twat, right? And I hope he listens to that because he's an absolute roaster.
Raging, isn't he? Fuming.
And by the way, even if it was like you know, any commentator that's been doing Celtic TV or Rangers TV shouldn't be commentating in Old Firms or anything like that. Anyway, in my opinion, just my opinion.
BBC isn't impartial. Fuck the BBC.
On neutral broadcasts.
Yeah, I think so. You probably get a bit more of a genuine...
Unless you've got 2, 1 of each.
Yeah, but anyway, what in the good God is Suter doing? Now, when the ball gets hit, it's either hitting him in the throat or the face, and he goes like that, and it skips the top of his head. Blood, thunder and tears, sweat and coil and all that. Where was that for Soapy? Take one right in the chin, take one right in the face, right in the neck. That's where the frustration creeps in. It's nothing to do with being aggressively angry, because I thought there was a lot of passion and heart in the players that I've not seen in a long time. But don't let it go down to 10 men. And refereeing decisions, you can't do nothing about. But if you're a defender and that shot's coming straight at you, why are you ducking out the road of it as well, you know?
There's 1,000 comments, but how they finished with 11 men is utterly baffling.
I don't know if I've got much of a voice left, to be fair. I was going a bit mental on that watch along, so I might cut out and it'll just be my voice gone. That I'm done. The officiating was just shocking. It was so poor. Daizen Maeda pulls back one of our players in the middle of the park, and it's not even a booking. It's a clear yellow card. The one that got me was, after all his bookings, I thought he would never get one, but Callum McGregor getting a booking, you think, oh my God, are we actually like in the same universe that we're seeing him get booked? Because that never happens. They spoke about the trusty foul, but how you can draw blood from somebody by kicking him in the head and it's still not a red card, it's still not sent to VAR.
Oh, wet piping.
In the second half, Trusty puts a tackle in on Gassama. If Gassama goes down, it's a red and he's off because it's last man edge of the box. But Gassama stays.
Would he have gave a red? I don't know. Would he have even gave a yellow? I don't know.
Probably not. But yet we were getting bookings like it was nothing. The officiating today, it definitely was 12 against 10.
Oh, usual for the usual.
We were just never getting in from the officials. But
no, it was honking.
Well, actually, what you've done is you've said that Rangers, sorry for that, but we're going to give Celtic a title because St Mirren will lie down in the final, but we'll hear all about it because it's the Martin O'Neill effect, and he's come in and he's not going to be beat.
We can all agree that the officials were a disgrace today and ruined a semi-final. We were second to every ball. We were slow at responding to everything. Celtic took a couple of quick free kicks and none of us were ready. There was an offside goal in there, but we were lucky to get away with it. It was a honking first half from us.
It really was, yeah. It was very poor.
Are you with me now, lads? They are corrupt. Kenny, I'm finding it more and more difficult to argue against corruption.
Fuming.
The last time we played them at Hampden, denied a penalty with minutes to go, which would have probably won us the game. A couple of sending offs, or should have been the day. It's getting harder and harder to argue against it, mate.
Yeah. I just wish the rule book was more clear cut. They're always finding little tidbits to hang on to the reason of a diabolical decision and make some sort of reasoning out of it. I'm getting fed up with it. At the end of the day, you can say what you want about John Brown, but it took a bloody lot for him to snap like that about it because of the consistency of that particular season when he said what he said. So we're not allowed to use the word corruption now, is that right? I'm not sort of talking about on here. I'm not allowed to use that, no. So what other words am I not allowed to use now? Because it's blatantly obvious, diabolical and decision making. But for it not to be, I know it did go, as Connor says, did it possibly go? Of course it went, but it's the quickest decision you've seen in your life because they're not interested, right? I can guarantee you. Alex touched on we're going to get the apologies after for everything, and that's a cute way of getting out of this bollocks that happens to us all the time. But that's blatant this time, guys. That's not even kidding on. That's like, wow.
Get it right up there.
It's getting worrying. And by the way, don't be kidded. We are a bloody laughing stock in England. We are a laughing stock, man. This is ridiculous. But again, let's not get sour grapes. If you take your chances, you rescue that game.
Every time there's a controversial decision, only one team comes out on top.
Yep. No, it's very much true.
No, it isn't.
Endangering the safety of opponents and violent conduct. We have to be honest about the fact this is what happens when you've had 2 decades almost of intimidation of officials that Celtic have had.
Nice.
Let's not kid ourselves. This traces back years and years where they have had officials sacked. This goes back to the
strike.
Dundee United game all those years ago. It goes back to their strike. It goes back to every time a decision goes against them, they're out in force. Mm-hmm. It is utter intimidation of the officials to the point now where they are scared. They will not give unless it's, I mean, even that's blatant and they still don't give it. They don't want to make those decisions against them. What is the point in VAR if they don't look at these incidents? And then you look at it and you say, well, there can only be that explanation that they have successfully intimidated their way into referees giving fouls against them. They won't do it. Willie Collin will come out in the SFA VAR review show and clip this, by the way, because if he doesn't, I will eat my hat. He'll come out in that VAR review show and say, yeah, it should have been a red card. We got that wrong.
No chance.
Connor, I think the board need to step in with that as well and maybe make a melee and back Rangers up a wee bit with the kicking in the face incident at least. Just that one thing, just to say.
They have to.
You have to, yep.
They have to do it.
It needs calling out. How can you have a fair landscape in this league, in this country, if one team seems to benefit from all the controversial decisions now? It's a nonsense. And they have ingrained it, not just into referees, into Scottish football culture altogether. People still say penalty to Rangers. They have successfully controlled the narrative. And do you know why? Because Rangers have allowed them to.
Can I just say I find it ironic that supporters of other clubs would be in the comments even mentioning the words tinfoil hats.
Maybe if you have a job, Martin, you're mocking wipe your ass for you, Martin.
I find that extremely ironic considering all I've heard for the last 25 years is that the world's against us, the refs are against us, the establishment's against us, everybody's against us. I find it ironic, people saying that tinfoil hats when we're just talking about the evidence that we see in front of us.
It's about time you get your character, you wee prick.
I did not say, none of us have said there's a conspiracy against Rangers. What there is an intimidation of referees where they are afraid to make decisions against...
That's a Celtic fan pretending that they're not a Celtic fan.
It might be.
It's raging!
Another big game that Rangers have not won. I mean, I'm soul destroyed by that. That's rock bottom for me. I don't even know where to go with that. Celtic 3, Rangers 1.
He's all no.
A million things wrong with it. Some things right with it. But the reality is, it's another Old Firm where it's a semi, it's a final, / a game that actually matters in a title race that we just can't go over the line. We can't win, right? Get it up, yeah. Get it up, yeah. This was a must win. We had to win. I believed this game was going to shape the future in terms of this season. It would give whoever won the confidence to push on and do things. So what are we going to do now? There's nothing there. Whatever we spent on Yusuf Sherman, it needs to be refunded, right? We need to go searching for that receipt. We might have got something for this game, but we didn't.
Oh, lovely.
Anyway, Nick Walsh, we'll get into his decisions right here, right now, because we're going to begin the game recap, but just to reiterate, we had to win. We didn't. We fell short for what the millionth time, folks. I'm fucking sick of it. And it's been that way for far too long. Is no one listening to this video sick of being second best? And by the way, see right here, right now, we're fucking third best. Shermitty, this guy's a donkey. Eehaw! Honestly, man. Eehaw! An absolute donkey. Right? A donkey.
I think Rangers are an absolute shambles.
I was bringing a tear to my eye at the end, the happiest moment of my life.